Now joining me in studio to discuss the upcoming Summer Savoyards stage production, The Importance of Being Earnest, playing Jack Worthing, Darian Ely, playing Algernon Moncrief, Cooper Ely, and playing Cicely Cardew, Annie McNulty. I tried, everyone.
Nailed it. Victorian names.
All right, so first off, tell me a little bit about Summer Savoyards and kind of what you guys do and the mission.
We do the best of this.
Question.
Yeah. So Summer Savoyards is a theater group that basically we are a teaching organization. We do our best to teach people what it's like to be on stage, what it's like to work on set, what it's like to every aspect of the theater. And every summer we put on a Gilbert and Sullivan operetta.
All right.
This coming summer is going to be the Pirates of Penzance.
All right, interesting.
And our spring show, which we've been doing since, if I remember correctly, 2018, is essentially a fundraiser for our summer show.
All right.
And right now we're doing our off-season comedy, which is what this is, because usually they are musical productions. So this is just a straight-up, normal three-act play with just a comedy.
All right, yeah, no, tell me about a little bit about it, and then go through and tell me about each of your characters that you're playing as well.
All right, so this is a production of Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest. It's a comedy. It was one of Oscar Wilde's last things he ever did. It was his last play he ever wrote, and to get a little off, it was the last thing he wrote before his disappearance from the public eye.
Yes.
And it almost led directly to his death.
It pretty much directly led to his death.
But
there was a whole thing with the person who invented boxing, modern boxing as we know it. His son, Oscar Wilde, was infatuated with his son and basically wrote this play as a sort of self-insert to kind of be with this guy's son. And he got a note from the dad saying sodomite. That was misspelled. And he was thrown in prison for that.
Essentially, it being gay wasn't great, and this was extremely obvious about it.
All right.
And that wasn't great for his well-being.
Well, it sounds like there's, a lot going on in this,
There's a lot.
which is probably fun though to do. There's a lot to put into it.
The show itself is lots of hijinks about identity and names and lots of lying,
double
particularly
lives.
on the part of these two.
Oh, a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, no, this sounds entertaining for sure. Like I
wild,
said. So tell me,
literally.
you guys have crazy names.
Yes.
I tried my best to read them. So tell me a little bit about the characters that you play and how you got into it, maybe.
Okay, well, I'll start since I'm the headlining. Jack Worthing, he's the sort of focal point of the show. I won't dive too much into spoiling the plot, but he's this anxious, uptight, kind of haughty, I'm better than mostly Algernon. All he does is berate Algernon for basically existing, and he's so just, nonsense, I won't hear it. Until you grill him about his family life, then he flips on a dime and gets super serious.
All right.
So he leads this double life, and he doesn't want anyone finding out about it. And if people encroach too far into that, he snaps at them.
All right, interesting.
It's interesting,
Yeah,
for sure.
All right, Cooper.
And now I play Algernon Moncrief, who is basically the secondary leading male role. And he is pretty much the exact opposite of Jack, where he is very kind of floaty and sort of flamboyant. And he just kind of, he kind of just rides life like it's like he's surfing, and he's super smooth, relaxed. He also does engage in stuff like a double life, essentially, but he's a lot more lax about it. He's in debt. There's a whole thing, a scrapped fourth act about him being chased by his debtors. But he kind of just rides life by the seat of his pants. He's a sort of kind of exuberantly flamboyant thorn in your side who will always push your buttons, and life's a game and he's playing whack-a-mole,
All right, that's a good
Nothing
way
he
to
does
put
has
it, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly. No consequences to his actions.
All right, Annie, and you?
So I play Cecily Cardew, who is the young ward of Jack Worthing. And Cecily is very naive and extremely opinionated about basically everything. And surprisingly catty for someone who hasn't really spoken to someone her own age for 3 years.
Basically hasn't stepped outside of her own domicile in about 3 years.
Not necessarily.
All right, and this production is happening at the Bundy Museum, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So kind of, how do you think that this show is perfect for that venue? What does it look like in there when you put it on?
Well,
It's very small, the
Yes.
stage.
It's a very intimate venue. We've been doing rehearsals at the Trinity Memorial Church, but it's a very intimate venue, and people are going to be right up close to the stage. So it's not going to be like sort of interactive, but it is going to be like you get to see pretty much everything that's going on, no matter where you're sitting. And it's definitely a challenge to work with like such a small space, but we've definitely made it work, and I think that it's still going to read and it's still going to be entertaining for everybody in that space.
Yeah, and what do you three think that is so unique about this show compared to other ones that you might have done?
The fact that it's Wilde, Oscar Wilde. He
Yeah.
has this very, very specific writing style, this very specific flavor of comedy that is on full show in this production.
It's so quick and snappy. It's one after the other. It's very quintessentially like British. A lot of like modern British media like kind of harkens back to Wilde in the fact that it's all just like one person says a thing and then another, and it just keeps going back and forth all over the place, and it's just nonstop funny.
All right.
a difference in this show from previous off-season shows from Summer Savoyards is we have an extremely young cast compared to previous shows. I believe it is 4 of our cast who are under the age of, how old are you?
22, 21.
Under the age of 22.
Yeah.
All right. No, that's interesting. When I go on your website too, it looked like you three were younger than a lot of people that have been in shows, so that's really fun. One last question is, if people want to get tickets or find out more information, where can they go about doing so?
SummerSavoyards.org.
Yes.
All right. And when are the shows again?
So the shows are next weekend and the one after that, Friday and Saturday at 7 and Sundays at 3.
All right.
We do Sunday matinees.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you all for coming out today and joining me. I really appreciate it, and good luck with your upcoming show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
for having
Yes,
us.
thank you. For those of you who might have missed those details, Summer Savoyards is proud to present a stage production of Oscar Wilde's classic comedy, The Importance of Being Earnest, at the Bundy Museum of History and Art in Binghamton. This production will run on March 7th, 8th, and 9th, and again on March 14th, 15th, and 16th. Known for its wit, humor, and sharp social commentary, The Importance of Being Earnest is one of Wilde's most enduring works. For more information, please scan the QR code on your screen now or visit summersavoyards.org.